we come to our presentation, straight to our presentation. And we were discussing look back in anger. And yeah, is it visible? Presentation?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we
Yes,
had
ma'am.
done, yeah. So we had done what is this concept of angry young man. Then we discussed the character list also. Please mute your mic, someone is there with the characters in the in this drama. There are very few characters in this drama. Then we also discussed, or we, if your question comes like discuss or give short notes on kitchen sink drama. What is this concept of kitchen sink drama? What do you mean by this? And how? What is realistic drama? What is naturalistic drama? How realism and naturalistic drama is different from kitchen sink drama? It's a part of it. So this is what we had discussed. And then we discussed that who is the angry young man in the play, then what are the major themes of the play, then how this play is autobiographical, how the playwright himself was in difficult relation with his wife at that time. Then about Colonel Redfern, who's Ellison's father, we had discussed. Then we had discussed the moral compass in the play is Helena, right? So this is all what we had done till now. And now, as we move further, we explore the play further here. What is difference between Helena and Ellison? See, they both come from the same class. And what is their class? It is upper class. And Ellison is married to the working class, right? So uh, now the roots are same. They both are Ellison and Helena. They belong to upper class, but Ellison got married in the working class. Does this happen? Is it a regular feature? No. The upper class will marry in upper class, right? This was the general scenario of that time, that upper class will marry in the upper class. Let me stop this presentation for a while, and because so many are joining at present. Yeah.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, can you just quickly re-explain the difference between realistic and naturalistic drama, because I wasn't able to understand that day during the first lecture.
Okay. A realistic drama will present you with the situation which where life is as it is, right? But since it's an art form, it will present it in some artistic way, and at the same time it will explore upper class people. It is always, in tragedy also, you see, right from the very beginning, literature belonged to elite class. Okay, so elite class got representation in literature. Very little was written on the lower or middle class people. Okay, then naturalistic drama is also almost the same, but it's at some places different art forms are used. But here, when you come to kitchen sink drama, which is a part of, which is a kind of naturalistic drama, here life is presented as it is, but the kind of life that is explored is from middle class or lower middle class. So it is called kitchen sink. The language of realistic drama and kitchen sink or naturalistic drama is also different, because the classes are different. Bernard Shaw. I
Ma'am,
gave you example of realistic drama. Bernard Shaw. Yes.
ma'am, Shaurya this side. Ma'am, kitchen sink drama always represent middle class and lower
Yes.
class.
Yes. Always.
Okay.
Right.
And naturalistic and realistic represents upper class.
Realistic drama represents upper class. Naturalistic drama means the art form that is being shown there is can cover upper class, it could be middle class, and the language is appropriated according to the class.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
So, ma'am, can we say that realistic and kitchen sink drama are a type of naturalistic drama?
Naturalistic drama.
They are naturalistic drama, of course.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, they are
And
naturalistic drama, and it's very minor differences. And when we are talking, see, actually in literature, when we study drama, we are talking about thematic aspects more, right? And drama is actually a technique. So we do not go into technique in literature. Theater, as it is, theater studies are, in theater studies, you would be studying the theme or subject matter of drama, as well as how it is presented in the stage. What kind of lighting should be there, the placements of the things, the movement of the characters, those things are given importance. So when you want to see all the differences between realistic drama, naturalistic drama, and kitchen sink, you will have to go into those things. But in literature, we are not much bothered about it. What we consider more is the thematic aspect rather than the technical, that what kind of music is played in the background. So these things are not taken into consideration to that extent in literature as it is in the theater studies.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, we can say like a Doll's House was a realistic drama because
Yes,
they were
yes.
more well-to-do than the
Yes. See,
porters too.
basically, here in Look Back in Anger, what is happening, what we are studying is the conflict between upper class and the working class. See, in England, right from the very beginning, it was a feudal society. ठीक है? पैसे के लिए काम करना was considered to be very derogatory. ये बात आपको बहुत अजीब सी लगेगी. पैसा कमाने के लिए काम करना पड़ता है. That means you are working class. If you are into paid occupation, it is very low. This is not 20th century and 21st century that we are talking about. Feudal society means the king or the queen, the royalty, used to give confer earl बनाते थे ये लोग, duke बनाते थे ना, there was viscount बनाते थे, इस तरह के, they had such designations. And
Ma'am,
these people, yes.
Ma'am, when you say working, do you mean just physical labor or all sorts of work?
Any
Just
kind
field
of,
work?
जब आप काम करने का पैसा हाथ में ले लेते हो तो that is paid occupation.
Oh, okay. Yes, ma'am.
Right? Even if you are a teacher, you are accountant, it's a paid occupation. It's a working class. Got it? This was the concept in Victorian England, before Victorian, almost after Victorian. Government भी बन गई थी उनकी, parliament भी था, but royalty, monarchy, even today they have queen. Right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
this is what I am saying, that the king or the queen used to divide the land, and this land will be taken care of by this duke, and these earls are there. तो इस तरह के कुछ कुछ इनके वो थे, right, hierarchy. If you find on internet, you will find this in that below king who was there, after then duke, earl, count, ये viscount, ये सारे होते थे. Okay, so these people basically इनका काम क्या होता था, they used to just travel and look if the people are working properly or not, and everything that the farmers grew, and everything that was produced, manufactured, everything was the property of the queen, and from there the things were distributed downwards. Okay, so these people, they used to appoint tenants. टेनेंट्स मीन्स ये लोग डायरेक्ट लोअर लोगों से इंटरेक्ट भी नहीं करते थे. Okay, it is the tenant who was the link between the working class and the ruling class, you may say. Basically it was agrarian society, agriculture produce से बनने वाले goods, वो सारी चीजें होती थी, right? Now when industries came up, when these scientific discoveries came up, then then the mobility also increased, colonization mein. The people used to travel, and then this middle class or called trading class, this came into existence. And this is how paid occupation came into existence. This was the new working class. They were not laborers, they were not peasants, right? They were not tenants, they were the working class people. So here what is happening? Jimmy belongs to working class. Where he works, he owns a sweet shop. And Ellison belongs to the upper class. They don't work. Right? They उनको share मिलता है. Basically it's kind of, you can use the word share. जो profits होते हैं ना royalty के, वो they get that. Then some, you know,
that too without putting any efforts themselves.
Their efforts was to take care of the people of their places, of the farms, और ये सारे में जो ध्यान रखते थे. This is what they used to do, monitoring.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, and these people, and that is why education was also limited to that class itself. The peasants and farmers, they didn't study. They didn't get that opportunity to get education. And these people, they used to travel, they used to, like किसी को queen ने colonel बना दिया, तो they used to go to India. कितने सारे लोग आए थे? You say Lord Mountbatten, Sir so and so. So these titles, they were all given by royalty. Okay, so many writers came, and so God. So many writers came, and they were all, you know, to India and to other colonies. They explored the culture of this place. They reported in their writings. They wrote novels and poetries, and then similarly they were colonels and they were the bureaucrats. They were coming from there. They were made officials and reporting to the king. They came to the colonies. So these were all the people who belonged to upper class. Here you see Ellison's father is a colonel. Right? So he does not belong to working class. From India, he comes back to England and he's living with his wife. Ellison is his daughter. And these people, they have moved in these colonies. He got a posting in India, and after gaining this experience and having all that money, now they have landed successfully back in their homeland. They have reached back to England. Jimmy belongs to the working class. Hugh belongs, Cliff, they all belong to working class. Helena belongs to upper class. Yes, she's an actress, but actress does not mean that it is for money that she is working there. Right? So her movement is an upper class society. And they're all, you know, if you know what I'll do, I'll just in remedial classes, 3 days I have got for remedial classes. So there I would be discussing this more, because when you see this novel that you have in your course, Pride and Prejudice, you know, it is often read as an very romantic novel, but that gives a picture of the society very well.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, though Helena wasn't working for money, but still she must be paid, no, for her work. So she should be categorized in that working class only.
No, 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 no. See, she is the one. These people, what I said was that the people who belong to upper class, they had to spend time somewhere. They had to do something. So
Yeah.
they spend their time in the studies. They spend their time in the. They used to paint. They used to sing. They used to dance. They used to make statues. That is all that they are doing because the creativity part was done by these upper class people.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank
Now,
you.
most welcome. And these things will be clear. You have to enter that society in order to see that closely. That is why I said when we do Pride and Prejudice, there you will get a good picture of how the gender relations was there. जो कहते हैं ना कि love and marriage is the theme. You must be knowing something about Pride and Prejudice, do you? उस
Yes,
पर
ma'am.
मूवी भी बन गई and everything, yes. So there you basically get that to which class I mean the family, the story of the which is told about a family, to which class does that family belong to, other people belong to. There this class distinction is very clearly given. So this we shall be doing, I think it's on 11th or 12th. I'm having that remedial class. So if you join there, then I would be discussing class system in English
Ma'am,
society.
you will be teaching us Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah, for no, it's not assigned to me. Sorry. In regular classes, I have been assigned drama paper, not the fiction paper. Okay, but in remedial class,
Okay.
there are 3 days assigned to me in remedial class. So there I can discuss this topic.
Okay. And ma'am, do you know which novel we will be studying today for today's class?
No idea. I don't have that idea because that is again, it's a remedial class and Savita Srivastava will be taking. I've got no idea about that.
Okay, okay. Okay,
Okay.
ma'am. I'll ask her.
Yeah. And these novels, they are not allotted to me, but it's just in remedial class. We have been asked to deliver lectures on anything which is, a bit confusing or that demands special attention. So this I can do there. Okay. Now coming back to the presentation, the play that we are discussing today. Uh, yeah. So what is difference between Ellison and Helena? Well, similarity is that they belong to upper class, okay, but they live in working class. See, Helena is also moving among working class people. The situation is different. Helena is not attached to working class man, right? She is not married. Ellison is shown at the mercy of her husband, who belongs to working class. Helena is convincing Ellison that you should leave your husband because he is exploiting you. There is no baggage that Helena is carrying, but Ellison is carrying a lot of baggage because she decided to marry under her social class against the wishes of her parents. But as soon as she came with her husband did not even have home to live in. Okay, so it is his own his friend. His friend's mother helped him, and they gave him their place to live. So there, Ellison saw what the working class is like, and there she could find the wide gap or gulf that was so deep, and she felt that she is under threat. But she wanted to return, but she could not return because her mother had got all the property signed that now she is leaving everything from her. She will not be taking anything from her father. Everything, such arrangements were made. Now that she, if you read the play at some place in Act 2, she says that that boat has been burnt from in which I came from my parents' house. Okay, so now she cannot return back. This is what. So this whole baggage she is carrying. Helena is moral compass because Helena here comes to Ellison. She is trying to save Ellison from exploitation. But when Ellison leaves, she's pregnant. So when Ellison in her pregnancy leaves her husband's house, Helena stays back and she gets involved with her husband. Okay, and she has not married her husband, but she stays with her, gets involved physically also. And then when Ellison finally comes back, Helena realizes that what she was doing was wrong. So she's a moral compass, and she's, all her dialogues, through her dialogues, it is revealed that what kind of society they were living, what was ethical, what was not ethical. And she's exploring Alison also, that what kind of relationship does she have with Cliff. Because how Ellison is living with her husband, that her husband's friend Cliff is also living there in the one-room apartment. So Helena is asking Ellison that, are you in love with Cliff? Ellison says that she likes Cliff, but not in the way that Helena means to. Then she says that, is she into physical relationship with Cliff? She says that she feels very comfortable and warm with Cliff. So that dialogue is also so, it touches our sensibilities. That how is it possible? They lie in the bed, they feel comfortable with each other, but then Ellison says that she is not physically involved with Cliff. And Helena says that I feel like I am intruder in this family, and Cliff is not comfortable in my presence, but in Jimmy's presence he is comfortable with Elisa. Right. So Helena is a strong moral compass in the play. Now, if Jimmy is so weak, he's not good looking, he's not strong, he is not courageous, he is not brave, he is not doing any work, then how can he be the hero of the play? So he is not a hero in a classical sense, but he is a modern day anti-hero, opposite of everything that is hero, but he is not a villain. He is angry, he is a young man who is fighting against society, he is challenging his own limitations, he is voicing his views, his thoughts, talking about this class distinction, and we find that his anger is destructive. That trumpet that he is playing, it actually annoys Ellison to such an extent that it harms her nerves. But then he himself, wrong has been done to him also. So why does Jimmy have this destructive nature? Because society makes him so. See, that kind of education, Jimmy is an educated person, but again, see, in universities also there was distinction. New universities were also coming up, but good universities, they said, were the brick universities that were made in red bricks. He says that Ellison at one place says that he is a pass out from a white tile university. That is the difference. What is the difference? That this university is made up of tiles. That means it is not an established, rooted thing. This is not prestigious. Prestigious universities are made of red bricks. They are established. They are old ones where working class people usually do not come. Right. So Jimmy is the mouthpiece of the frustrated and dissatisfied young people who were affected by Second World War. At that time, Second World War had just ended, and the people, there was civil war also. People were not satisfied with monarchy. They were not satisfied with the establishment. Okay. So who is Nigel? Nigel is Alison's brother. He was a soldier in British Army, and now he is into politics also. He belongs to upper class, royal. He moves in among royal people. So he now is interested in politics also. He has got high contacts. Right. And Jimmy says that he is such a stupid person and parliament is full of stupid people. So Nigel also may one day join parliament. So this is how these educated youth considered their parliament to be. They had no respect for their parliament. They were raising voices against parliament. So what does the word
Yes.
pusillanimous mean according to Jimmy? Like a pussycat. Not wanting a firmness of mind. The mind is wavering. A person who is pusillanimous will have a wavering mind, will have no courage, will think little, is coward, timid, shy, voiceless. So this word he is using for Nigel. Okay, so the first theme of this play is loss of childhood. Where does this anger in Jimmy come out from? It's not only
Excuse
the
me, ma'am.
problems of youth, but it is also problem of childhood. Yes,
Ma'am, ma'am,
yes,
doesn't he use the word pusillanimous for Allison?
yes.
Jimmy.
Because Ellison behaves like a pussy, even when we'll come to that bear and squirrel game that they play. There
Yes.
also she is a squirrel and Jimmy is bear.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Okay. Now, when we come to the theme of the theme of the play is loss of childhood. Okay. Jimmy's father, who is the because in those days, just remember that working class also it was males who used to earn money. Okay, married women did not go out to earn money. Right. So Jimmy's father dies when Jimmy is just 10 years old. And then it is his mother. So he is suffering that parental loss since his childhood. Ellison is too young when she marries. She's just 21 when she marries Jimmy. The day she marries, her parents cut off with her. Right. So for her also it's a kind of loss of parents. She's in problem. She wants to get back to her parents, but she cannot go back. And
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
she has to tolerate all the anger and frustration, outpourings of Jimmy. So her whole youth is wasted in anger and the abuse that she gets from her husband. So this is not just what is happening with Jimmy and Ellison, but it was happening with the youth of the country at that time. During World War, so many families were destroyed. So many male members of the families were dead. They were amputated, or they were in neurosis, psychological problems. So the male members of the family, the broken families, death, disease. So many children they had become orphans, or they were living in miserable state because there was no job in the family. So their heart was full of anger. Right. So this is what Osborne shows in this play. Generation of British youth experiences this loss of childhood innocence. atomic bomb has developed. British Empire was declining. How British Empire was declining? Most of the countries, they were becoming independent. They were revolting against British Empire. And in Britain itself, the relation between the Prime Minister and the Queen, that was becoming disrupted. The parliament, inside parliament also there was a fight between these two parties. So there was no stability in British Empire, and it was shrinking. So the entire culture had lost the innocence.
Yes, ma'am.
Even the ruling class people, they were not they were very comfortable right from the beginning, but here when the parliament came and this world war came, they were not comfortable because they had realized that this industrialization, rise of working class and this middle class people, so now their powers will be on decline now. So that kind of threat they had begun to experience. So even though those people were not comfortable, and this working class people, they were rebellious, they were fighting, they were in anger. So loss of childhood, no comfort of childhood. Since the childhood itself was threatened, so there was loss of childhood, loss of innocence in the people. Okay. The second theme of the play, Osborne is giving the idea of real life. Jimmy Potter is consumed with the desire to live a more real and full life. His dreams, his hopes, his aspirations, they are all just put into dustbin. And he has this desire that he has to start. He is educated and yet he is selling sweets. So he says that all his actions, people's actions, their attitude, there's emptiness there. And he himself has got burning desire in him to do something. Okay, so he generalizes his emptiness in the beginning by criticizing the lax writing and the opinions of those in the newspapers. The newspapers are very symbolic. He is very particular about reading newspapers. And he then turns his angry gaze. First, he's angry at the newspapers, he's angry at the political situation and the social situation of his country. Then he is angry about the people around him. एलिसन पे नाराज है, हेलेना से नाराज है, क्लिफ को कुछ भी बोलता रहता है वो, right? But who is the person who will absorb all his anger? It is Ellison. So Ellison becomes the victim.
Ma'am, what is lax writing?
Lax writing means when with no particular theme or particular agenda person writes, when they do not have any clear-cut opinions.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so he's saying that these people, they do not have to say, they do not have content in them, they do not have something to say, no substance is there in their writing, yet they are writing because they are at the luxury. Right? He is not getting this opportunity.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is there. So then Osborne's argument in the play for a real life is the one in which men are allowed to feel a full range of emotions. All the emotions means for Jimmy, if you say which emotion, there are so many emotions of anger, greed, jealousy, love, hate. Uska jo dominant emotion, it is anger. He believes that this anger is his way of true living. He can express himself most honestly through his anger, because there is anger in him. If he shows love, that is going to be artificial one. If he shows any other emotions, it will be something which has been created. But what real thing he has in his heart is anger.
Ma'am, means the Osborne's idea of real life was where one should not pretend.
One should not pretend. What emotions are there, that outburst of emotion will show what is real thing inside a person.
Yes, ma'am.
Things as they are, without manipulating them. Okay, so Osborne had argued in his essays and criticisms, he had written something in where he had said that until his play, British theatre had subsumed the emotions of characters, rendering them less realistic. All the British dramatists, they were just manipulating the emotions. They were just showing the emotions. They had created their emotions. They had not presented the real as it is. The British dramatists, they were creating the emotions rather than depicting the real emotions of the country. जो characters थे उनको emotions उड़ा दिए जाते थे, that now you should show this emotion, that emotion, but what the real emotion is, real जो wave चल रही है country की, these dramatists, they were not showing that. So Jimmy's desire for the real life is an attempt to restore raw emotion to the theatre. Raw emotion without dramatist decorating those emotions. What it is, naturalistic drama. What it is, raw thing should be offered to the audience.
Ma'am, you said
Yes.
that the newspapers were symbolic. How?
Yeah,
Was it
we'll
symbolic?
come to that, because these newspapers, they were depicting the condition of the place, but who were writing in the newspapers, or who were getting opportunity to voice their thoughts and ideas,
The
it
upper
was the
class
Upper
ruling
people,
class. It
class.
was the ruling
elite.
class. Yes, yes.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So
And ma'am, John Osborne was also from middle class. He was also a middle class man, I guess. That is why he was able.
he was university educated, we can say, right?
Yes.
But he did not have any royal background.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, how can we say that the things which were written in newspaper were symbolic as they weren't depicting the reality?
See, it is. See, this is again a very, very wide topic. Newspapers are the mirrors to the society, right? And at the same time, they also show what they also give information of the developments or happenings, events that are taking place. But which events are to be shown light of the day? Which events are to be suppressed? Who decides that? Editor of the paper.
Editors. Yes, ma'am.
Who are the editors? To which class do the editors belong? Who gives liberties to these editors, and who can curtail the liberties of the editors, that what you should present to the public and what should not be? So these things,
Those
they
who are
become,
in
yeah,
power.
this becomes
Yes.
very, so this becomes very selective,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So basically, it is said that truth is made.
Yes, ma'am. It is created somewhere.
It is created, yes.
Mm.
Who creates? Who has that capability? Uh, so,
Influential people.
so this is what is shown here.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So next we shall be doing in our next class, rest of it. And it's a good thing. I hope you have read all the three acts as we are moving.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Oh, this month we are going
Ma'am,
to devote to this play. Yes.
ma'am, there at one point, sorry, Jimmy says to Cliff, "Who are you?" And Cliff says something along the lines of that I am nothing, and then, "Oh, you can then very well be the prime minister." So basically, he's saying that because you are nothing, you can be the prime minister. So
Right.
this is some sort of satire, no,
It's a
to the
satire. Yes.
yeah.
Though, according to Jimmy, the people who are without brains, who have got nothing to do in life, they are the people who are in the parliament, and they are the people who have got the power.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so this working class, they are not getting representatives, their own representatives in the parliament, right? So those people who are in the parliament, their background is also from the upper class.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Okay. Now,
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
most welcome. Now, in the next class, we shall be doing. And have you taken the class photo?
Not, ma'am, not
No,
for the
ma'am.
video. No.
Please,
No,
please
ma'am.
switch on your videos. And there are 19 students today. So this photo also you should take. The how many students are there in the class? Because we have been asked this to give the record that how many students are present in the class. Okay, so please switch on your cameras and let's have that attendance. And then I would like you all to read the play. Those who have not read the play should also complete the play, the reading of it. And with this discussion, and as we are raising question and we are just discussing, the meanings are going to become more clear. Okay, and next month we shall be going to Unit 5, Waiting for Godot. Right? So now I think we can disperse. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.